Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
Ooh. Oh, boy.
Thank you.
Boy.
Okay, we're going to be busy for a minute.
Walter loved space. That was Walter Cronkite on CBS in 1969. For decades after the first lunar landing, Neil Armstrong knew how to keep a secret. But this morning, the world is getting a look at some of the souvenirs Armstrong quietly brought home from Apollo 11. They are on display at the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum in Washington. Wyatt Andrews is there with the surprise. Wyatt, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie. The Smithsonian only recently disclosed that when Neil Armstrong was boarding this command module of Apollo 11 to come home from the moon, he basically grabbed some moon swag. Now, all of this was gear that NASA planned to throw away anyway, but to historians, what was junk back then is a treasure trove today. At first glance, the contents of the bag look like random pieces of hardware, electrical cables, straps, lights, and odd-shaped tools. But when Alan Nadell, a curator at the Smithsonian, saw the photos, he knew he was seeing history, starting with this camera.
This camera is the camera that probably took some of the most significant images of the 20th century, I would think.
Images including the moment that man first walked on the moon.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
10 months after Armstrong died, his wife Carol says she found this white bag high in a closet that she was clearing. She carefully took photos, and for more than a year, experts have confirmed that every piece flew to the moon and came home with Armstrong. CBS News space consultant Bill Harwood says the camera alone is worth up to $1 million, but profiting from the moon was never Neil Armstrong.
He never did anything to capitalize on the experience, never tried to sell anything or participate in commercials, for example, like some astronauts have done.
And that leaves the question of why Armstrong took the bag a matter of speculation.
Hello, Eagle Houston. We're standing by, over.
The bag was standard equipment aboard the celebrated lunar lander called Eagle
The Eagle has landed.
that Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin used to land on the moon.
Beautiful view. Isn't that something?
But just before the astronauts ditched the Eagle, the lander is moon trash to this day, Armstrong told Mission Control everything that he was loading, including one thing he said, that's just a bunch of trash. Why do you think he kept what he described as a bag of trash?
I think it's a human desire to have a commemoration, a souvenir of such important things.
Having this bag in his house with these items in it is certainly something that adds a little bit of insight into the man, and who knows, maybe it is something that he would stop and look at occasionally to remember that historic voyage.
Magnificent sight out here.
Armstrong, as far as we know, never spoke of that bag ever again, not to his wife and not to his biographer. It suggests that this most famous man from this famous event kept a piece of this mission always close by and all to himself. Jeff?
Wow.
Incredible to just think about why he made that, right?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he brought it is clearly.
We get that.
We get that.
Yeah.
But that he never told about it unless he just wanted to have something unique only to himself about a historic mission.
Including his wife that he told no one. But she found it, now we all get to see it. That's good.
So fascinating.